Hello and welcome to stampityourself.me. My name is Connie and welcome to another tutorial. I have just got my celebration catalogues that I can show you as a sneak peek. I can't tell you what's in them just yet, but they are available, which is really exciting, and they will be available to purchase from the 5th of January till the 31st of March. And every $90 you spend, you will be able to get a free item out of this catalogue here. So keep an eye out for that. That's coming soon. Today's project is a Christmas card. I call this card the grey, grey and silver. Here it's pretty hard to see, but hopefully I'll be able to include some photos that I've taken. It comes up as a little Christmas card and of a Christmas tree, and I'm using some vellum, some rhinestones, Smoky Slate, and of course I'm using the new, what do we call this one? This is a falling snow textured embossing sheet from Stampin' Up. So I do hope you enjoy this tutorial, and thanks for subscribing for those new people that have subscribed. It's very encouraging. It is quite daunting doing videos. I'm not really used to it, but I'm getting there. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make this one. I did this card for a class just last week, and it was pretty well received and people really liked it. And obviously I liked it too, otherwise I wouldn't be uploading it. So without any further delays, I will get onto it and start creating this card. It will look better for you in real life. The reason that it will look better for you than it does in the picture is because I've used Smoky Slate on the Smoky Slate cardstock and Whisper White for the falling snow. It doesn't look very good on the camera because it's really hard to see, but the tree stamp that we've used, and I'll give you the name of that set in a minute, and the way that the little baubles have been punched out of the vellum, it comes up really nice in real life. So I do hope you give it a go. And unfortunately, as I said, I can't really control what you can and can't see. It's very difficult to see, but it is really, really pretty. And I probably wouldn't do it any other colour other than the grey. That's why I like this one. It's a grey and silver one. So please do leave your comments. I'll be happy to hear them. But also, more importantly, I do hope you go ahead and give this one a try and make it, because it is really, really pretty. Really pretty. Okay, so we're going to be using the Falling Snow embossing plate from Stampin' Up. Christmas, teeny tiny sentiments, sorry, Merry Christmas I should say, Merry Christmas. In the teeny tiny sentiments. I'd be lost without this set. I use it all the time. It's got so many good little sets, good little sentiments. So we're going to be using this little Merry Christmas one here. This is the stamp set that we're using for the Christmas tree, which is to you and yours too. Wouldn't want to have too many wines and say that one. And we're using this tree here as the tree. So get those sets if you haven't already got them. Okay, we will be using obviously Smoky Slate Grey cardstock, and I think my light is too bright. As I said, I'm new to this filming and stuff, so hopefully I'll be able to work out and work through a few of these issues so that you will be able to see them quite clearly. But I think the main thing is, as long as you know what colours I'm using and also how to construct it and that sort of stuff. So we'll also be, I'll go on with this. We're using the Smoky Slate, so you will need your cardstock. Your average card size is 8.5 by 5.5. 8.5 in landscape, 5.5 in portrait, scored at 4 1/4 to make your card. You will also need, for your falling snow, another mat, which is 1/4 inch smaller than the main one, and again another one on a mat for that as well. And you'll need a piece of vellum, and I'm going to run this through the embossing plate in the machine in a second. You'll also need a piece of silver twine string, which is all Stampin' Up. So what I'll do, you'll also need to have little circles punch. This one is 3/8 of an inch. So you'll need to have one of these, or anything you can punch a little circle out with, or you can use stars, the little star punch. These come in a set. Again, you'll need Smoky Slate ink, you'll need some glue dots and some rhinestones. So to start with, I'm going to emboss my folder and also my vellum sheet. So I'm going to emboss both of those, and I'm putting it into the heavy end of the embossing. As you can see, there's more snow here, and as it moves up into the corner or into the fold of the folder, it actually gets less. So we want to actually have more, as much as possible. So what I might do is actually put that vellum up the top there, so I have a lot of snow, because on the baubles that we cut and put on the actual tree, all the snow that falls on it is really quite pretty, so we want a lot of imprint on it, as one would say, I'm assuming anyway. So I'm going to just run this through the big shot. I won't be a second. Hopefully you've got a big shot and you've seen it all happen before, so you won't need to actually have me demonstrate it. I think if I had more room I probably would. Okay, so there is the actual embossed vellum with the snowflake, softly falling snow folder. And here is the white cardstock that we're putting as a mat on the card itself. So basically we're going to be layering it like this, and you'll be able to see from there, you'll see the falling snow. Isn't that pretty? It's so nice. So make sure that when you do get the folder, you use the top end of the folder, which is actually quite the opposite. So when it folds here, more snow is concentrated at the opening of the folder rather than the closing. So this is where you want your snow to look like it's falling gradually down onto your card. So you do want to have that. Okay. And again, with the vellum, I've used that same folder as you saw, and what I'm going to do is pop out some little circles with this, and I'm thinking that I'm trying to remember now how many I need. So I need, at the moment, I need 3 little baubles for the basket. So I'm going to pop out 3 of these for the basket. I try not to let them fly everywhere. 3 for the basket, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I've got a star at the very top of the card using the same. So yes, if you can use that, it just looks really pretty when you actually put the card, compile the card together per se. So what I might do is, to save time, because I don't want to hold everybody up, and as I said, I'm not really all that experienced at this yet, so I might just work through it as I go. So I'm just going to layer my first mat down, just so that because there's a little bit of work in the construction of putting in the little baubles, but in saying that, it doesn't really take a long time. It just needs to be, you just need to be organised. It depends how many you want to make. This is a one-off, so what's the second one? You've always got to make one as a draft. But they are really nice cards. Okay, so that layer is on. Okay, so then we're going to do some stamping. So I'm going to use my To You and Yours Too Christmas tree. And I'll stamp the tree first with Smoky Slate onto the Smoky Slate cardstock. It is hard to see in this environment, but you'll actually see that it's more than enough when you go to make a card under the construction of this. So there we have it. So the next thing we want to do is, I've gone and forgotten my my little glue dots, not my little glue dots, my diamantes. So when you're proportioning your card, I put 3 on the bottom here Might need to bring that closer. Okay. My camera's zooming in and out. Let me see if I can get in a little bit closer for you. Okay. You'll be able to see it from the original anyway, which is just there. So you can see there that I'm going to repeat that same pattern. There we go, maybe that'll help. Okay, so this is going to be my version. You can see on this version how I'm actually constructing it. I do need to just run off and get some diamantes, and I shall be back. So please don't go anywhere, because I don't want to have to start to record again if I can avoid it. So I'll just race up and time and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. My little kitty cats just look at me and go, what is she doing? So sorry to leave you sitting there like that, but look, really wasn't worth it having me turn off the camera, trust me. Okay, so what I do when I go to put diamantes on, these diamantes are not Stampin' Up, but you can get the self-adhesive Stampin' Up. Self-adhesive Stampin' Up diamantes, and I can tell you it probably is a lot easier than doing it this way. However, I have devised a quick way to do things, so I'll just show you how I do it. Can you see? Let me see if you can see where I'm doing it from. Alright, what I'll do is I just put a few on here. Tip a few onto your workplace or your work area. Okay, so put a little few in the lid like that. And then what I do is I get a block, an acrylic block, put a little piece of Tombow glue on the acrylic block like this. Hopefully it'll come out. There we go. See that? Okay, so the best way to actually stick these down, so the best way to stick it down is to get your first one, which is, I'll stick the star down, put a little bit of Tombow glue on the bottom, and then just pop it onto your tree. So, like so. Okay, and then put on a toothpick, a little bit of glue. I need a little touch, and it helps you pick up your diamante, but it also helps you stick down your diamante. So, and the diamantes do look really pretty, so it is definitely worth it. Again, I'll just follow the layout that I've done for my card that you can see there. So I've put 3 here, just to make it look like you've got baubles in the basket, and it does look really pretty. So I've got one there. All fingers and thumbs tonight. It's quite humid here in Australia. I don't know what it's like over there. Although close to Christmas, I know that you guys have snow and all sorts of bits and pieces. And, oh, that'd be just lovely. I'd love to have a white Christmas. But, you know, I'm happy having a typical summer Christmas here in Oz. Gets a bit unbearable if it's really hot. You don't eat as much. Okay, so we're just putting the diamantes now onto the baubles for the basket. So it's quite quick, and it's quite easy if you use a toothpick and you use a little bit of glue on just a block or a tile or something like that. Now, I do think that when you're putting your baubles on the tree, it's important. Placement is always important, so you don't overcrowd your particular design. And for me, it's a very important thing when I'm designing. So I'm going to follow deliberately what I've already done. I think I need a little bit more glue. Because you can overdo it and you can underdo it. So it's just a question of balance. But I do think balance is important when you create, especially when you're working in little tiny areas. like cards. If you're doing a big canvas painting, it is different. But in this instance, it's, you know, important your placement. So this is how I found my placement worked for me. You know, you and your placement, I'm sure you'll find it an easy way of doing 1, 2, 3. We put one over here, just off the branch. And don't worry, your Tombow glue won't show through it because it does dry, as we all know, or whatever glue you're choosing to use. I do like working with glue sometimes. It depends what I'm making. Oh, that one came off. Back you go. Okay, and you can see, you can't see it probably in the picture, but you can see it when you look on your card once it's finished. On the design, you can see the snow on the vellum, and it's really quite pretty. The baubles look lovely. I was quite happy with this card when I did it. And again, as I said, I did do it for a class just recently, and it did come out quite nice. I think it was quite well received. I'll just move that one in a bit. Okay, hopefully you can see that. So now we'll just put a couple more diamantes on. Onto the baubles. It's quite an effective way to do the baubles, I must say. And you can do them in any colour. You don't have to do a grey version. You can do them... I don't know. I'm really happy with the grey and the silver, but so I couldn't really suggest another colour because I'm very partial to this colour. So, you know, I would give it a go with the silver, the Smoky Slate, and see how it all comes together for you. You'll either love it or you won't. So I'm just sticking these little diamantes on. The good thing about using glue is if you get it on the wrong spot, you can always quickly flick it off. Whoop, just stick it on my finger. Take it off and then put it somewhere else, or realign it or something like that. So, oh, these keep sticking to my finger. The other thing with glue is the mess. Yeah, we do get a bit too much mess going on, don't we? There we go. And we've got a couple more to do. One more there and one more there. Okay, so hopefully they'll stick down. Okay, so now the next thing we have to do is to just do a little bow and a sentiment. Now obviously I'm going to use the silver cord for the bow, which is really straightforward. Just tie a bow. I didn't bring a pair of scissors, and I'm not going to run off and get you and leave you stranded again. So I'm pretty sure that most of you know how to do a bow. And I'm actually sitting in my son's room at his desk for filming. So, okay, so we'll just stick this down. It's going to look a bit funny with the size of the bow because I haven't got a pair of scissors with me. Bit of an oversight. Okay, oh, it does look rather odd, doesn't it? You can use a glue dot or you can use glue. It's entirely up to you. I'm looking for a pair of scissors madly, and I haven't got any. Don't particularly want to pause the camera because I have found that coming back to it, you know what I'll do? Just take it off this one, put it on here. How's that? Because I used a glue dot. There you go. All right. So we'll improvise, as they say. All right, so the next thing you want to do is you can do the sentiment. Now, when I did the sentiment for this particular card stock, I did, again, put it on the vellum that was left over. And you probably could do it with the vellum that's left over. But you'd have to use Stays On ink because this Smoky Slate normal ink won't dry on it. But in this instance, a couple of the kids the other day that were doing the class, a couple of the ladies that were doing the class the other day, they just stamped straight onto the card. So, and I found that worked just as well. So I'm quite happy with doing it that way. So I might do it that way myself, just to save time, but you can do it on the vellum. It does look pretty on the vellum. Okay, so again, we're going to line up our Merry Christmas and stamp Merry Christmas. There we go. It is hard to see in the grey, I've got to say. And then, of course, we're going to stick it down with our dimensionals. So it is an easy card to do. It doesn't take long. It is really pretty. It does come up really pretty. And if you're really organised, you can get it done really quickly. Well, a bit of practice makes perfect, as they say. I've got to say, I need a bit more practice with a few things, but we're getting there. Okay, and then we just popped it on the front so that we can encapsulate that falling snow into the picture. There we go. There you go. You have a nice grey, silver Christmas card with the little baubles and the diamantes, the gorgeous Christmas tree using to you and yours too, and the teeny tiny sentiments down the bottom, Merry Christmas, the falling snow textured embossing plate, and the smoky grey ink and the smoky grey cardstock. So I do hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Thanks for joining me. I'm hopeful I'm going to get back to you with another tutorial as soon as I can. And I do hope you leave your comments and you have enjoyed this tutorial. And I look forward to you joining me again soon for another tutorial. Thanks for stopping by. You can check out my blog at stampityourself.me, and I will have this uploaded hopefully on my blog for you to get the stock. I can't even think of my words at the moment, so I am sorry. You can get the dimensions, and you can also get the product supply names and the order code numbers, and you can go straight via my blog to my Stampin' Up website, and you can purchase the materials to make this card. I do hope you give it a go. Merry Christmas to you and to yours, as they say on the stamp set, and hope to catch you soon. Thanks for stopping by.